And I wanted to share a little bit about what Tantra is, the benefits of Tantra, and the work that I've been doing as a physical therapist and Tantra practitioner, integrating both. For me, I realize how when people come in with chronic pain in their back or chronic pain in their shoulders, and we only do physical therapy and then we heal that pain and we learn how to function in our daily life, a massive part of that functioning, I feel, is our sexual functioning, our creative functioning. That just because your body is now feeling good, it doesn't stop there. But that's what I learned as a physical therapist, was all about the biomechanics, how the body moves, and how to teach people how to move efficiently. And when I learned pelvic floor physical therapy, we didn't talk about orgasm, we didn't talk about the importance of opening our sexual energy and how that affects our creativity. That's not what physical therapy is all about. That's not what I went to school for. However, in my life, I was very sexually suppressed most of my life because I had sexual trauma when I was 14. And all of this has led me to really value Tantra, value yoni massage, linga massage, sexual pleasure massage, which sometimes people hear about what I do. And the physical therapy stuff is pretty mainstream, well accepted. So when they hear that I also incorporate Tantra and yoni massage, sometimes people are like, what? What did you just say? You pleasure your clients? Is that legal? People kind of, there's a judgment about it. And I mean, people that know me for a long time, they know me as a healer, as a healing guide. I'm so excited to teach people on this table and on the phone how to release and process the weight of our emotions, pain in our body, which I've discovered over the past 22 years, and personally in my life, how we hold so much trauma, memories. It's so true that we do this. It is amazing how much baggage we are holding, and we don't even realize it because mainstream health care system doesn't even acknowledge our emotional body. So what I wanted to do today was get on this table and pretend that I am a client, and kind of demystify what I do with my clients, because sometimes people are like, I really want to work with you, I want to try this yoni massage, but I don't know what it is and I'm scared. And I don't blame you, because believe me, I never had a vagina massage until I was 44 years old, and a woman at the Tantra training that I did last year is the one that facilitated this experience for me, and I laid down like this. So I just want to show you all, pretend I'm the client, okay? And I'm laying here, and my legs are open, and the client is usually in their birthday suit, they're naked, or if a woman wants to be covered, that's fine. It's all about what makes you feel comfortable. And this usually happens after they've worked with me a few times. It's not the first thing we do, because this whole area, a lot of us have had inappropriate touch. I mean, 1 out of every 4 women on the planet have been touched inappropriately. These are statistics. And I think it's 1 out of every 8 for men, but don't quote me on that. So the client is like this, and their legs are wrapped around me, and I'm like this on the table, on the massage table. So this is what I'm doing. I'm sitting like this, and my client's legs are around me. And I'm going to make a video like this. I have a beautiful goddess that wants to be a volunteer, but I don't have enough time today to do all that. And it's coming out of me to share this, so I want to do it. So the client is here laying down. Okay, so you could pretend this is their head. Here's their vagina or his penis, his sexual organs, his pelvis, and then their legs are wrapped around me. And we start with, well, before we even get here on the table, there's a 45-minute phone call to make sure that we're in alignment to work together, because this work is very intimate. So it's not like you should just call me and schedule a session. I choose the people that I work with, and I make sure that they're the right fit. And that's something that I've learned to really value and honor this work. It has to be done with people that are in the right place, in the right mindset, in the right intentions, because I have other Tantra practitioner friends that they tell me, they're surprised that I don't have any problems or issues with my clients, but that's because we spend a lot of time getting to know each other before we even meet in person, because it is a very personal thing, and not everybody's ready for all of this. So I just want to share that. And honestly, I think it's beautiful when you can meet your clients on the phone and speak with them and share with them, because we're all meeting each other on purpose. It's not just for the Tantra session or the healing session. I know that we're not separate. We're all one. So I'm healing from all my clients that I meet and I interact with, and they go through things that I've been through. So there's a reason why people are called to work with me and not someone else, and vice versa. Some people are attracted to working with other people, and I have other healers that I recommend if we're not a fit. So after the process of getting to know each other, and then we do also different Tantra breathing exercises in sitting or standing, or sitting laying down, then we come up to the table to do the body work. And this is where the linga massage for men and the yoni massage for women, because lingam means penis, wand of light. It means wand of light, and yoni means vagina, and all the different aspects of the vagina. So it's not just the vagina. The word yoni covers labias, labia minora, majora, the different anatomical parts of the woman. So the word yoni is actually a beautiful word that encompasses all of what the female sexual anatomy is. So she's laying here, and the first thing we do is we connect our genitals to our heart through our breath, and she usually has her hand over my hand, or my hand is over her hand and her heart, and we breathe together and practice expanding. And I teach everybody the E3 breath, so I incorporate the ALVA Method with the Tantra massage, because that just takes it to another level where we're using science-based principles that stretch your fascia, and that is the first place that we connect, is with the breath, connecting together, looking at each other, and creating an intention for the session. And a lot of times I ask, are you ready, willing, and able to let go of any resistance to releasing any pain, tension, stress, trauma? And the client will say yes, because by then, they're so ready for it. And then I do some mental mindset releasing of beliefs that might hinder in the way of that person releasing. And we put intentions for rapid releasing, because everything is just an intention. Everything is simply a belief. So if you're going to get a shamanic healing with me, or a massage, or an emotional release bodywork session, or a yoni massage, or just a mindset, a chakra clearing session, we always start with letting go of resistance to releasing, which I think is brilliant. And if any healers are out there listening, use that technique, because believe me, we can heal and release and process at the speed of light and sound. And when we put these intentions to make ourselves get out of our own way, it is so amazing what happens. And then, just going back to the session, we're eye gazing, we're creating this intention. And by the time I get here, I've already massaged her back, laying face down, and I've worked on her root chakra. So let's just say that she's flipped over. I just want to mention this because it's amazing. She's laying down like this. I'm just going to, before we got into the yoni position, and I'm sitting over here, and her legs are on top of my thighs, and I'm massaging this whole area. This is the root chakra area, and a lot of us in our lives maybe have not felt safe to express our emotions, or we have felt threatened by adults in our life that don't listen, or maybe, they scream at us or aren't holding space for us. So the root, the legs, and the tailbone, the tushy, the anal area, that is our first chakra. That's the root chakra. So what I do is we'll breathe into our legs. We'll breathe into the anal area. We have a lot of pleasure nerves around the anus. That's why, gentlemen, it feels good down there, okay? So there's men that feel like they're gay because they love anal stimulation. But in reality, the reason why you love it is because it feels so good. We have a ton of nerves for pleasure around the anus. So you don't have to be worried or embarrassed, men, if you're feeling pleasure down there, and you can just express it. This is something that I love to talk about with my clients, my male clients especially, because sometimes, especially if they're Latino, they feel self-conscious, like to actually express, I like to be massaged around my anus. And around the anus, in between your anus and your testicles, that's where your Ren 1 is. There's this spot right in between the anus and the testicles, for the women, right in between the anus and the vagina, that's just smooth skin, and that's where your perineum is. And that's a really powerful point where you can breathe into that spot and inhale and do the E3 breath. This is what I do with my clients. And I make them more aware of the expansion into your anus, into your pelvic floor, into your vagina, into your penis, your testicles. Breathing deeply down into your root makes you expand. And if you've had tension, stress, even like with potty training, some of my clients have had trauma at age 2 of the way that they were potty trained, if their parents made them feel guilty or ashamed because they pooped in their pants or they peed in the bed. That makes you tighten up in your anal area, especially if somebody's yelling at you because you're not doing it right. And it's just amazing when we put our fingers down there and massage that area. And you could do this to yourself. You know, of course, it's so much nicer when you come see me, because I'm going to teach you how to release your mindset. And so I'm just going to go into this where people can just put their fingers between their genitals and their anus to the perineum. And you can just put your index finger, middle finger, and just literally hold there onto the skin, and then just breathe down into that spot. And remember, this is just a video. I'm introducing some things that I do in the healing work with my clients. So if you want to learn more about this, definitely email me. This is not meant to be something that I actually expect you to do on your own, because it does require specialized focus. You know, this is, you want to get this right. You don't want to do this the wrong way. That's why it's good to get a little guidance, coaching on it. And basically, when people are touched down here, sometimes there'll be a trauma that is released, or they'll remember their parents maybe screaming at them, or they pooped in their pants. There's some type of memory that comes up. It doesn't happen to everybody, but if they were holding some tension down there, when you open up and you expand down into that area, whatever emotions, traumas, memories will come up. And then I teach my clients how to process those emotions with their breath and different techniques. And I also tone into the body, and that seems to really release quickly pain. So the yoni massage, the linga massage, beautiful experiences for us if you feel that you want to expand your sexual and creative energy, because your sexual energy and your creative energy are the same energies. And the more we're moving down here and expanding and breathing and releasing and processing, you're going to be a more powerful creator. You're going to be a more powerful manifester. And you're going to also get more inspired. You're going to have more downloads of creativity. And I really feel that right now in the world, this is what the world needs, is for us to look at things differently. So if you have been a tight ass like I was, a tight ass or a pain in the ass, this is what I definitely was. And I'm sure my mom can attest to that, or my brothers, or my past, some people in my past. Tight ass, you know how people say, you're such a tight ass, get that stick out of your ass. Well, it's really true, because a lot of us are walking around with a lot of tension down there. And then those might be also the people that have hemorrhoids, constipation, you can't orgasm. There's no way you're going to squirt or have a whole body orgasm if you're like this in your vagina and you're tight. And I was talking to somebody else how when you have a happy vagina, an orgasmic vagina, an open vagina, that affects your laugh, and it affects your smile, and it just affects your face. Because when we orgasm, have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror after you orgasm? I would love to know. You can comment or email me privately. you look 10 years younger after you orgasm. And I'm not just talking about orgasm, three-dimensional orgasm. I'm talking about Tantra orgasm, ecstatic, which I feel has definitely made me 10 years younger. So if anybody wants to learn more about Tantra, yoni massage, linga massage, sexual expansion, email me, send me a private message, and I'd love to offer you a 30-minute free clarity call and share with you some techniques and how you can work with me more. I gotta go now. Wishing you all a beautiful day. Hello everyone. I have to go now. I have a client here, and I love you all. I hope this video helped you. Please share it with a friend if you would like to learn more about Tantra, learn more about how to be more creative and how to connect to your Kundalini creative energy. These techniques are so powerful. It's a natural anti-aging, and it just connects us to our soul, our spirit, the way that I work with people, because I'm also a yoga teacher, a physical therapist, and an energy healer, an NLP practitioner, Psych-K practitioner. So I'm combining our mindset with our breath work and our sexual energy expansion and the biomechanics of how we move. So I just can't keep it all to myself. I gotta share. And if there's any topics you want me to talk about, make videos about, I am here now. I've been away for a little bit, and I really want to share and open up and teach people how we can combine science, sexuality, spirituality, sensuality, and energy, vibration, just releasing and processing our emotions. I really feel that's the key to living a healthier, fuller life. So if you want to tap into your inner joy, reach out to me, and I'd love to guide you all in that. Bye.